This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
It's one of the oldest and most fun-filled flight technologies ever invented. It is a breathtaking sight to see. They stand over 7 stories tall and have many unique patterns and sometimes shapes. Seeing so many firsthand can be the experience of a lifetime. And whether you're a child or an adult, the hot air balloon captivates the imagination of any person who crosses its path. And when you want to experience that majestic beauty firsthand, then the Gulf Coast Balloon Festival will be your ticket. If you happen to find yourself in beautiful Foley, Alabama, you'll discover it right in your own backyard. The technology behind hot air balloons is very old and dates back to China around 220 AD, when small hot air balloons or Kongming lanterns were used to signal the military. Today they are known as sky lanterns and are very popular for special occasions like weddings. The balloons that transported supplies and people would not come along until the late 1700s. The first untethered flight with human passengers was made in France in November of 1783. Lots of trial and error, along with some extreme bravery, is behind much of what we see here today. So let's prepare to go soaring to the highest heights and float to a perspective that you've never seen before. Now, if you'd like to actually see these balloons in flight, you'll need to wake up early.
Good morning. Morning. Thank y'all for being back in Foley.
Early in the morning, the pilots and their crew gather to have a briefing on weather conditions.
Altitude, for those of y'all that check with flight services, altitude actually is pretty nice. 1,000 feet, we've got a little east wind at 5 knots. The sportiest we've got is about 3,000 feet at 15 knots.
Hot air balloonists need as much stable wind as possible to effectively maneuver the balloons safely. The hours just after sunrise or just before sunset are best for finding these types of winds.
Before we launch, we of course like to observe the flags and the conditions in which way they're blowing. Determines whether we fly or not. If there's strong winds, and the winds at different levels are different directions and different speeds. So they send up what we call a pie ball, fill it full of helium, because it flies lighter, let it go, and it determines the wind direction, the wind speeds as much as we can. Some of the pilots have little gauges that they look at the pie ball with, and it kind of tells them the direction of the wind and the possible speed of the wind, so they can determine whether they're going to fly or not.
These balloonists come from all around the country, and most have many, many years of experience. We've had the pleasure of flying with a couple of the pilots. One such pilot is Ted Habetz, who's been flying for over 20 years. Ted's balloon is the Mariahscape.
And go a little bit north, and we're going to get off probably on something called Hadley Road. We're going to go on the other side of 59.
Okay.
You're going to see the balloons going in 2 different directions. Some of us are going to be going that way, some of us will be going that way. Everybody's trying to find out their best spot to take off. It's not necessarily any one spot. As soon as we go up, we can go left or right and steer. See, looks like a nice empty pasture way out over there.
Finding a balloon's perfect launch site is just as important as the wind. The wind directs the balloon, but where you will ultimately land begins from where you take off. And even with all of this planning, it's still pretty much up to chance.
Every pilot has a little bit of a different standard of what they go by for like surface winds and stuff like that, and even a little bit of higher up winds. Most times you want surface to be between maybe 5 and 7 miles an hour. Anything at like 600, 700 foot, 800 foot can be, you know, 10, 12, 15 because there's no obstacles you have to deal with. And that's the main thing. You want the surface slower because when you come into land or take off, you have obstacles you have to deal with.
Usually as the balloon goes up, the wind goes more to the right. So as we're flying, you go down, you're gonna go to the left, you go up, you go to the right. And in the morning, typical morning, we got at least 120 degrees of steering, that much. So we try to pick a spot maybe 2 miles away where that Y, that V is in the middle so we can go up and down to try to get to the target.
You the landowner?
We can probably go anywhere out here. If everybody's out there, we don't have room. There's a field right down, that side field where the system, but y'all will be okay.
Okay.
If y'all want to pull around, see how much, and then scatter out this way if you need to.
All right, appreciate it.
The hot air balloon is comprised of 3 main parts. The first is the basket, which is made of wicker and is durable and lightweight.
Right now we're just getting the basket ready, so we're putting up the uprights, and the burner is going to go on top of the uprights. Sure.
The second are the burners, which are fueled by propane and are used to provide lift during the flight.
Pretty close. All right. All right, one on that side, one on that side. Y'all ready? Y'all say where y'all at?
And then finally, the envelope, which is the colorful part that is made of nylon or polyester.
Hold it, baby. That's how they doing.
It's pulling me.
Slop. Pulling. All right. Got it. Thank you.
Now you may wonder why after many years and with all of the technical advancements, the balloonists still use a basket made of wicker. And the answer is very simple.
A lot of it has to do with wicker, you know, it's kind of flexible. You know, we don't have wheels, we don't have brakes. So when you come into land sometimes you want to have that little bit of flexibility. That way it doesn't bend, it doesn't rip, it doesn't tear, it doesn't do anything like that. That's the main reason. A lot of it also, it looks a lot better. They've tried to make steel, they've tried to make plastic baskets. Overall, the overall look of wicker is better than, you know, a metal steel basket, something like that.
So getting the balloon ready to inflate is no small feat. It takes a team to get the job done.
Our crew here, we can't do without them. They're the biggest part of our ballooning. And it takes all of us to put this system up. This balloon is 90,000 cubic feet, and it's an aerostar, so it's quite big.
So we're actually putting some Velcro to temporarily hold the top. And that's what it looks like from the inside, and pretty soon that whole thing is going to be full of air. We'll be able to see all the way from here to the burner. This Velcro is not what holds the balloon in the air while we're flying. This is just to hold it while we're putting the cold air inflation air in.
A large fan is used to inflate the envelope with cold air. While the envelope is partially inflated, the air inside is heated by the burners and causes the envelope to slowly rise skyward.
I'm gonna do my little briefing real quick. As we're flying along, you can hold on to the uprights, you can hold on to the ropes that you see here that are in every corner. Don't grab onto the upright that has the fuel line. That's the only one you can't touch on that. Nothing with the tanks, nothing with the hoses. There is handles in the sides if you feel like you need to hold on to that. and then nothing up here.
Saturday morning flights are around 7 a.m. While the flights themselves are not available to the public, witnessing these flying phenoms is worth the effort. As the balloonists make their way to a somewhat unknown destination, the crews prepare themselves for the chase. These balloon chasers are an important key to the safety of the pilot and their passengers.
I usually drive, so what I'm doing is I'm watching the roads, but I have my wife, and she'll sit here and she'll follow the balloon as I'm going up. I always like to be in front of him because I can always come back. I don't want to be behind him because it takes longer for me to catch up with him. But chasing is, if you know the roads and everything, a chase can be easy. If you don't know the roads, chase can be hard. But down in Foley, down here, it's easy because it's so spread out and you don't have, I call them, the roads are like veins and arteries. You've got a bunch of arteries and not as many veins, so it's really fun.
Now, typically, hot air balloonists fly their balloons just above tree level, while some soar up to 3,000 feet above the ground.
It's a lot of different things. It can be exciting and it can be peaceful at the same time. It's kind of breathtaking in a way. I mean, because you have a 360-degree view, you can walk around the whole basket and see pretty much any direction you want to, as far as you want to, and it's just so quiet. The only thing you really hear when we're flying is the burner, and even that you kind of tune out after a while.
So I already noticed it's pretty quiet up here.
Yeah. Yeah, really, and once you turn out the burner, I mean, we always compare it to having a radio on in your car. You know, after, you know, driving for a couple miles, you know, you're just kind of not paying attention to the radio. You do, but you don't. Think of it like that. Every so often we'll hit the burner for either level or go up. And then, you know, we can, as far as, you know, we can, if we're closer to other balloons, we could holler down across the bend. Holler down to the landowners, you know, they can hear us. You know, it's really fun.
Direction and speed aren't just left to the breeze. Balloon pilots gently brush against the ground and even trees to alter momentum and chart a different course.
Now you feel the wind? We're gonna be changing direction. See that wind's blowing on our back? That's gonna start changing our direction. We're gonna start going more toward the field. I cannot believe I am the lead balloon. I'm the pieball of everybody else. That's cheating. Let's see if I can go brush a tree for y'all. Hey, good morning.
Morning.
We had a nice, easy takeoff, and we'll probably have an easy landing. And we'll probably come in and see where they're kind of landing over there. This is pretty much a good normal flight. You're gonna have some speed at some layers, you're gonna have some calm layers. You know, there's a good turn, there's good steerage in it, so just a normal flight, just normal fun situation.
All right, watch yourself. Trees are your friend. Ooh,
Oh, man. Yeah.
Whoa.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I did. That's insane. Man, that is so cool.
I did not know.
Trees are soft on the top. You know, 8 feet down in the tree and it's just shrubs. Oh, that was a brush.
That was a brush?
You see how he's not swinging?
Yeah.
Yeah, balloon flies like that. All those ones you'll see in the pictures with balloons leaning like that, the only time you ever lean in a balloon is after you hit a tree. All right, we can hit. Hold on. Whoa. Great spot to land if we wanted to land. We've been trying to get some left, staying close to the ground. See how they're all traveling in further that way? I'm looking for the X in the field, which is very close to, see how they got the end of the soccer field itself? It's about 200 feet on this side of that.
So try to aim in here for somewhere as far as landing. What we're gonna do, we're gonna face the direction of travel, so just kind of pay attention. And then when we come in to land, just use your legs like shocks. Okay. Like bend them at the knees and just kind of go with the balloon. There will be a little bit of a bounce, so if you want to hold on to one of the uprights or right in there.
Y'all grab on, stay behind me. When we're gonna hit the ground this time, I'm gonna start venting, and this will be our final bump.
All right.
You got your knees bent, you're holding on to your cameras?
Bent.
All right. Hold on, bend your knees, hang on, holding cameras.
There it is, there's a bounce. Take on. Got 7 or 8 miles an hour on the surface right now. And you know, balloons don't have brakes, they don't have wheels, so it's not like an airplane or a car where they can just pull into a spot and, you know, hit the brakes and stop. We're just basically having to plant the bottom of the balloon on the ground. And if it's a little bit breezy, we'll kind of skid across the ground a little bit. But, you know, our first little spot was right there. We only, you know, maybe not even 20 feet, you know, from the first spot, which is right on the other side over there. It's not bad.
The winds have welcomed us with softness. The sun has blessed us with his warm hands. We have flown so high and so well that God has joined us in our laughter and set us somewhat gently this morning back into the loving arms of Mother Earth. Salute.
Salute. Salute. Now that you've witnessed a behind-the-scenes flight adventure, it's time for fun that keeps you firmly on the ground. And of course, what's a festival without food and music? There's plenty to choose from funnel cakes to pork sandwiches to ice cream. There's something for everyone. So I'm here now with Tom DeBell, and he's the event chairman.
That's right, yes.
And you've been doing this a while?
Well, I've been chair of this event this is my first year, but I've been volunteering out here for 4 years. So they decided to make me chair.
You had a couple that came to one of the very first ones. Tell me about that.
They did, and they were very impressed with how it's grown. They were here at maybe the first or second one, and for them to come back after 10 years and see how it's grown, they were very impressed.
What was it like in the beginning?
In the early days, it was a couple of balloons out on the field with some cars pulled off to the side of the road, and now we've got food vendors and arts and craft vendors, a dog show. The carnival is the second year for the carnival. Just a lot of things we're trying to bring into this for people during the day.
Do you envision it getting even bigger and bigger every year?
I think so. Based on every year we learn a little bit more about it, and we bring new pieces into it and try to expand on what we're doing.
Pick it up. Now, push your arm forward. Watch. Push, 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 and bam. Like this, I was really getting in. So I just shouted out for the crowd.
Why balloons?
I think people are fascinated by balloons. If you haven't been up close to them, you don't realize how big they are, how powerful they are, and yet they're very graceful, and they're really just neat to see. And so, especially when you have 42 like we have here, to see them all go up in the air at the same time or to come in to fly in over the treetops, it's just really amazing.
It's magnificent. What about the people that come here? What do they say?
First of all, they don't understand that balloons only fly in the mornings and in the afternoons, so that's the first thing, is where are the balloons? But once they get to see them, they're very amazed at everything that goes into it and what it takes to help put these things up and down, and I think they're just fascinated.
Well, and there's plenty to do when the balloons are not up, correct?
That's right. We've got a lot of stuff going on here during the day.
In the setting sun, the festival crowds are given another experience, the nightly glow. The balloons' many unique patterns can be enjoyed at this time. They resemble Christmas lights illuminating the festival grounds. This is a breathtaking sight for everyone.
They put fire to the balloons, it expands, it sets up real pretty, and it's a real great sight, beautiful sight to see, and real fun for everybody.
Oh, just sitting here and seeing the balloons is it's an experience in itself. Like, it's fun, yeah. And also being able to teach them about how heat rises, and it's an educational experience as well. And they're so much bigger up front and close, you know. So it's kind of so gigantic. It's just you experience the awe of, you know, just the hugeness of these balloons. When you see them in the sky, they're a lot smaller, you know?
We love it. Have a great time.
Excited. I feel like a kid again. I can't wait till it gets dark so they're up in the air and all lit up. We've been taking pictures like crazy.
They do it at kind of dusk, darks is when I really look at it, and it's beautiful.
The Remax one is classic to me. That's the one I always think of when I think of a hot air balloon.
My favorite balloon is that one right there.
What color is it?
It's rainbow.
It's nice to have a lot of local vendors here to just a wide variety is really nice just to see. And I don't know, it's a really nice community. We've had a really good time, just a wonderful, beautiful day.
All of them are my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
He's got it tied off of his truck over there. Basically, all I'm doing is trying to stabilize the balloon so it doesn't swing around and bump into the other balloons and stuff like that. And it's a very pretty sight.
Now, if seeing the balloons from the ground doesn't get you all fired up, then a tethered balloon ride will be sure to lift your spirit.
It's a little expensive to take a free flight, and it gives people, it's economical enough where people can get a taste of ballooning, what it is, and it's really great. It really is. It's addicting.
This happened to be the same weekend as our girls' trip, so it's a dear friend of ours. It's her bucket list, so we decided to help her fulfill an item on her bucket list. Where else can you go to fly a hot air balloon? You definitely can't fly this in Louisiana.
Yeah.
So we would definitely drive 3 hours again to do this again.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping it's warm. It's a little chilly. We just graduated from nursing school.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. This was kind of our treat.
There's probably people from all over the states coming here to see one of these because a lot of states don't have this opportunity. So yeah, and local businesses and restaurants, it's good because, you know, sometimes you have a dry spell where you don't have a lot of people. So this starts bringing in the summer people coming in and enjoying what the South really actually has to offer, which is obviously beautiful land, and you know, you have the beach right nearby. So I think it's a hit of the summer to come here and have this festival here.
My husband and I have been doing balloons for over 35 years. We just love this event. It's nice, it's homey, it's the way balloon festivals used to be back in the day.
It's just something I've always wanted to do. You know, there's not many people that I know that have said that they've ridden in a hot air balloon, so I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never done it before. I'm really excited about it. It's on both of our bucket lists to do that, so marking stuff off of it.
Yep, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm excited about going up as high as I can go and just marking it off my bucket list.
Will you marry me?
And getting proposed to might be another item on that list. So what better place to pop the question than floating and glowing 50 feet above ground?
So your first experience, what do you think?
It was incredible.
I wanted to do something original. I didn't want it to be just some, you know, run-of-the-mill proposal, and she told me, oh, there's a hot air balloon festival in Foley, I want to go. I'm like, great, yes, yes, let's go to a balloon festival. I'd never heard of anyone doing that, so, you know, it all worked out great.
When I realized what they were doing, and he was down on one knee, and I was like, oh, this is so nice. Like, he proposed, and it was just, it's one of those things, like, you never forget that. Like, proposals are a really special occasion. It's something that they're always going to remember. There's just nothing else like flying in a balloon anyway. So to have somebody proposing in the air is just, the only other thing that'd be better is getting married in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my dreams right here. There's nobody better I can think of to spend my life with.
When you think of a balloon festival, I personally think of Santa Fe, and you see those pictures in your mind. Now, are we hoping that nationally we'll think of Foley?
Yes, absolutely. We've only grown, and we have the space to do it. We have a beautiful place for balloons to want to come down to participate, and I don't see why we can't be as big as those places.
Balloonists love flying around Foley just because of the type of agriculture they have around here. There's a sod agriculture that's around over here in the area. So once we get over a tree line, or you pass a peanut field or a bean field or something like that, there's the sod. So you can get real close to the ground, but it's like there's a turn road about every quarter mile in the field where the truck can come pick you up, and usually there's no fences.
And Foley is one of the best competitions. People are so kind and they're so nice and they're there to help you. And we just love coming to Foley.
You know, it's just a calm, you know, serene, and then you get to see everything. So it's pretty exciting.
Definitely put it on your bucket list, even if you just take a tethered ride or crew volunteer for a weekend at a festival or a local pilot, just take the time to do it. I mean, it's definitely a different experience.
You're up there, it's so serene. You don't have motors like a helicopter, you know, an airplane, and all that noise, all that wind going by. It's just very calm and serene. You flew this morning, you kind of got an idea. You just got a very small taste of what ballooning is. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I've flown all over the country, and it's just everywhere I go, you're just in awe. It's a great family sport. My family, well, here's my family. There they are back here.
Oh, you want to hug Kenny?
Yeah.
The Gulf Coast Balloon Festival takes place annually in Foley, Alabama at the beginning of May. To get to the festival grounds from Florida, travel Highway 98 west to the Foley Sports Complex. From Interstate 10, head south on the Baldwin Beach Express for about 18 miles. We hope you've enjoyed this inside look at the Gulf Coast Balloon Festival. We'll see you again next time, right in your own backyard.